Hey, Shalom Akim. First and foremost, call hello Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai by Shem Rakapadash. Of course, double honors go out to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone, who through the Holy Spirit continue to give us this truth. This is Naaman with the DC camp, as you can see here on the screen. And also, salutations go out to the fellow Akim out there who are on the highways and byways preaching this truth with all honesty and sincerity across the four corners. All right, trying to wake up the remaining hopefully elect. All right, this is Naaman with the DC camp. And as you can see here, like we've been trying to tell you, nothing good comes from this devil. Rainwater everywhere on earth contains cancer-causing forever chemicals. Forever chemicals. And it goes on to say, even in the most remote parts of the world, the level of so-called forever chemicals in the atmosphere has become so high that rainwater is now unsafe to drink. Rainwater, which is free, now all of a sudden it's contaminated to the point where they say it's unsafe. But I mean, you got, filter technology, but the point is you shouldn't have to do that. All because this devil, with his so-called science, he thinks he's so fucking smart. He thinks he is smarter than the Most High. And by and large, our people, they look up to this piece of shit. This so-called white man. This Edomite. That's his biblical nationality. All right? Continuing on, it says, forever chemicals are a group of man-made, and that would be the so-called white man, by the way, man-made hazardous products known as PFAs, which stands for perfluoroalkyl substances, some of which are linked to cancer in humans. In recent decades, they have spread globally through watercourses, oceans, soils, and the atmosphere, and as a result, they can now be found in the rainwater and snow in even the most remote locations on Earth, from Antarctica to the Tibetan Plateau. Ain't that some shit? If you want to go to the top of Mount Everest, you got contaminated snow. Hey, we got to, I mean, man, what the, like, damn, man, what? But see, you wouldn't believe us. This is Revelation 11 and 18, This man needs to be disappeared from the earth. It's just, and it's coming. This is why I'm reading this. This is Revelation 11, chapter 11, verse 18. It says, and the nations were angry. Well, why? Which needs to be the most obvious question. Why are the nations angry? Because they followed after this devil, thinking he was all wise, thinking that, all right, his ideas were so great and that he was the next great thing. But it didn't turn out to be the case, because you come to find out all of his philosophies, his doctrines, lead to death. His science, it leads to death in the end. Continuing on, and the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, who by the way are Israelites, and Israelites only, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. Wow. Wow. Ain't that a blip? And the nations were angry. All right, let's go to, all right, let's see, Psalms 147 and 11. Because this is what you want, all right? You want to fear the Most High, not Esau, Edom. The Most High Yahweh taketh pleasure in them that fear him. And how do you show you fear the Most High? Well, first of all, you have to be, in this case, you want to be a proper steward. That means you want to take care of the Most High's creations, which we were supposed to. So this devil, supposedly, thinking he's so smart, he hasn't been a good steward of the earth. So what do you think is going to happen? We just read what's going to happen. All right. He's got the nerve to create an Earth Day, I believe it was 1970 or 71. And he's still been fucking it up, even though he created that day. That was just to make people believe that he was trying to do something. All the while, he's what? More pollution in order what? Create more wealth for himself. So now, with all these laws coming about, you've got Bill Gates buying up all this farmland. You have them culling herds of farm animals and destroying crops. Now, why do you suppose he's doing that? Now the excuse is, well, now all of a sudden there's too much carbon dioxide being created. We have to cull the cattle. That's supposed to be their excuse for that. And now they want to say, well, it's too many of us. See, but that was prophesied. All right, and the Georgia Guidestones that had been down in Georgia there since late 70s, 79, something like that. Now they're gone, but it told you what they plan to do. That was get the population on the entire earth down to 500 million. So it's a little over 8 now, so that's a lot of killing. All right. So this is what this devil has planned. He wants to extend his rulership. All right, and the way to do that, now we're going to have to get a new money system in here. All right, because now we want to get all these electric vehicles. We want to get rid of the fossil fuels. And a lot of people saying, well, this is good. This is because they're stupid. What he's planning is to extend his rulership, and it's going to be by exerting more control over us, over you. Think about it, electric cars. All I gotta do is hit a button. For all of you to have OnStar and shit like that, you don't do what I say, oh, that's just one more thing I can just shut off like that. See how they get you? And all of you are talking about, oh, it's so convenient. No, that's not, that's what he wants you to think. Or security. And people just eat it up, especially Jake. Damn shame. Damn shame. Let's go back to the article here. Guideline values for PFAS in drinking water, surface waters, and soils have been revised down dramatically due to greater understanding into their toxicity and the threats they pose to health and the natural world. The changes mean the levels of these chemicals in rainwater are now ubiquitously above guideline levels, according to researchers from Stockholm University. Stockholm. All right. And Zurich University. There has been an astounding decline in guideline values, all right, for PFAS in drinking water in the last 20 years. For example, the drinking water guideline values for one well-known substance in the PFAS class, namely the cancer-causing perfluorooctanoic acid, PFOA, has declined by 37.5 million times in the U.S. He added, based on the latest U.S. guidelines, the PFOA in drinking water, rainwater everywhere, will be judged unsafe to drink. Although in the industrial world we don't often drink rainwater, many people around the world expect it to be safe to drink, and it supplies many of our drinking water sources. To study the prevalence of these chemicals, the Stockholm University team have conducted laboratory and fieldwork on the atmospheric presence and transport of PFAS for the past decade. See, some things, why do you have to go to the trouble for a so-called scientific research study or anything like that? Here it is, this man is looking for an excuse for his folly. But it's so simple. With you gone, everything can return to normal like it is supposed to. Why should I have to pay for water? Why do I have to worry about future generations not being able to breathe clean air, drink clean water, eat real food, all because of your fucking greed? After all, the scriptures call this devil a covetous man. Habakkuk 2nd chapter. This is who we're dealing with. Micah 2nd chapter. All right. He's a covetous. Let's look at that. Let's look up that word, covetous. Covetous. Let's go to Edom Online. Let's key covetous. There we go. Inordinately desirous to obtain and possess. Avaricious. All right. Passionate desire, eagerness. I must have it. I must have what I've got and what you have. What do you think's going on in Africa since the discovery of that gold in Uganda? It's not being broadcast. Very desirous, eager to acquire. This is this so-called white man, this Edomite. This has been, especially since he's been cut loose since the Renaissance. We're in this little season now. That whole period, since the time of Columbus, that whole period has been about a transference of wealth from Israelites to these caveman ass motherfucking Edomites. It says covetous, the desire of possessing more than we have of any good thing whatsoever, of which we have already enough for our uses. Who is this talking about? You have a few families on this earth, the elite bankers, all right, and other families that are worth, I believe, what was the percentage? The whole, by comparison, the wealth of the earth compared to everybody else, it is staggering. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but the number is up there. It says the desire of possessing more than we have of any good thing whatsoever, of which we have already enough for our use, adding house to house and field to field. It is much connected with pride. Obadiah, talking about this so-called white man, this Edomite. but more with restlessness of mind and desire of novelty, much seen in children who tire of their toys and want new ones. So it's just calling this Edomite a child, and he is. He's a base individual. All right? He's a fool. He says the pleasure in having things for one's very own is a very subtle element in it. All right? Let's see. What else? Oh, as an adjective, showing extreme cupidity, painfully desirous of another's advantages, immoderately desirous of acquiring wealth. And that painfully desirous of another's advantages, what I just mentioned in Africa. They discovered, I guess it's a vein or something of gold, and it was estimated to be worth trillions of dollars. The exact amount, I think I've heard 13 or something like that, maybe more. What do you think? Why do you think they went after Gaddafi? See, these families have this world on lockdown. You think they want to give that up? No. And here are people, they've got this system set up to where you have to go to them for what you believe to be any kind of justice. And these are the very ones that are doing it to you. And for that, I'm going to close with this. But I mean, this is a damn shame. It really is. This is going to be Psalms 43. This is who you're dealing with. A scoundrel. A piece of shit. This is Psalms chapter 43, verse 1. Judge me, O Most High Yahweh, and plead my cause against an ungodly nation, which they are. The nation of Edom, it tells you in the Bible dictionary that they are the only nation that will receive no mercy from the Most High. The only one. And you have the nerve to not look at their track record. And a lot of people, when we say that out there on the line, they frown their face up like, what the fuck are you? You're in the condition you're in because of these motherfuckers. You haven't studied history? These pieces of shit are the wicked. Point blank, period. Malachi 1st chapter. Why don't you do some reading? All right. Listen. I'll put it like this for you science buffs. In this reality, you have up, down, right, left. You have life. You have death. These things are set, all right, against each other. It tells you that in the scriptures. You must have these things. You have to have love. You have to have hate, therefore. It's called polar opposites. Have you ever read Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter? Try it sometime. All right, let me finish this, and I'll get another one. It says, judge me, O Most High, Yahweh, and plead my cause against an ungodly nation. Oh, deliver me from the deceitful and unjust man. This is who you're dealing with. What did Einstein say about insanity? His definition is what? Doing the same old thing and expecting a different result? You keep trusting this individual, the so-called white man, and he keeps fucking you over. That's insane. And he's going to continue to do it because his hatred for us is innate, meaning it's built in him. He wants that birthright back. He can't get it back. He sold it. Genesis 25th chapter. Again, try reading. And he made that promise to kill us in Genesis 27th chapter. All right, 41st verse. So, let me see if I can end it on this next one. This is going to be going to the Apocrypha. All right. So this is going to be Sirach, 33rd chapter. I'm going to start, let's see. I'll start at 10. This is Sirach or Ecclesiastes chapter 33, verse 10. It says, and all men are from the ground, and Adam was created of the earth. All right, that's that natural color that we're supposed to have. And this devil, as a mark that was put on him, his pigment was taken away. All right, that's a sign. That is a mark against him. 11, and much knowledge the Most High hath divided them and made their ways diverse. Some of them hath he blessed and exalted, and some of them hath he sanctified and set near himself. But some of them hath he cursed and brought low and turned out of their places. 13, as the clay is in the potter's hand to fashion it at his pleasure, so man is in the hand of him that made him, to render to them as liketh him best. Here's the point. 14, good is set against evil, and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly. This is where this was set up from the beginning. So look upon all the works of the Most High, and there are two and two, one against another. So that kills all that church shit. We all come together. No, it was never meant to be that way. Never. They tried that in ancient Babylon, before Egypt, before ancient Egypt. What happened? The Most High didn't want it that way, so he separated the nations. We're never supposed to be come together. All right, so let's see if there's anything else to that. Yeah, this devil got to go. You can't even drink. I mean, wow. Simple rainwater. Simple rainwater. So this devil, his greed, is avarice, it's greed on steroids. That's why he's known as a covetous man. It tells you that in Habakkuk 2nd chapter. Hey, so with that, once again, rainwater everywhere on earth contains cancer-causing forever chemicals. Ain't this a bitch? Man got to go. Hey, so with that, hey, shalom.